Yes, when I was doing some business research on opportunities several years ago, I had looked into franchises, and I had actually looked into another association as well that was based on the West Coast, whose name I honestly can't recall, and then came across Companion Connection and reached out to them, sent an email to David, and very shortly thereafter ended up having a great phone conversation with David, and he was he made the process kind of easy. It was informative. He explained to me what and when he'd be able to share information with me, what he'd require from me to essentially tell me more about the business, and we kind of started the process and the dialogue from there. I've been in sales in the technology field for my whole career prior to starting this business. I think there were a number of things that I liked better about Companion Connection compared to the franchises. For one thing, I thought that they made the process, again, sort of easy and less intimidating. And another big thing, of course, was I felt that the cost, both the initial startup cost and the ongoing cost of operation, were going to be significantly different starting a business by myself with the help of Companion Connection as opposed to going through a franchise. It wasn't just the initial help that I got from Companion Connection, but you have the option of staying as a member of the network, which I've done, and so there's an ongoing support there, which is great. But I think initially a couple of the things that I found were very, very helpful were, number one, they were able to sort of lay out for me in simple format what all of my startup requirements and sort of cost factors were going to be, and helped to give me the confidence that I could get my arms around it. And I think I very, very early on, after looking at this and a couple of conversations with David, I started to feel pretty confident that I wasn't going to run into any big gotcha. I knew there's always going to be a surprise and maybe some things you'd learn that you hadn't been aware of before. But I felt very confident that I wasn't going to run into a big gotcha that I had overlooked that was going to require a big financial outlay or some other big surprise, and that turned out to be, in fact, the case. Another real key thing that I liked and still do like is that they provided us with a calculator that allows you to change different cost components of your business and play with that, so you can do a lot of what if in terms of, gee, if I get my hours up to this level and if I have, such and such a payroll level, this is what my return on investment is going to be. Now, there's a lot more to it than that. There are a lot of components to it, but it's all there. It's very simple to use. You can play with it, and it's a great building block and also a great reassurance to you that give you a sort of a picture into the future of where you're going in a good sense of direction. The training really was excellent. And I liked the option that I had the ability to either come to a class and get my training in a condensed format over a 4 or 5 day period of time. And the option I ended up choosing, which was the home study option, which let me spread it out over a longer period of time, or perhaps digest the information and the material a little bit before I went on to the next level. And it turns out that was a little bit less expensive as well. So I liked having that option. So the training turned out to be excellent. In fact, using the training materials really continually, especially during my first year here of operation, I find myself going back to the manuals or pulling out the CDs, looking for forms or just explanations on how to handle different situations. So I found that was very, very helpful. I did come at this from a business perspective, and in fact, one of the key factors for me was the whole demographic aspect of this marketplace, and that also gave me the confidence that I had a business that I felt was going to be good for the long run. But I also had some personal experience with this on a family basis. I actually have been caring for my dad at home for the last couple of years, and so that gave me really some insight to that end of the business, and also some appreciation, big-time appreciation, pardon me, for what families go through when they're trying to provide care to another family member. I think with the tools and the experience that I have at my disposal working with Companion Connection, I feel like I have a very good chance to be very successful in this business. I think to be successful that you really have to have a sense of compassion for seniors, you know, for people in general, but seniors in particular, since that's really the main market that we're trying to serve. The fact that Frank and David, have run their own business in New Jersey for more than 20 years, to me, you know, that put a lot of validity in the information and the material that they were sharing and the advice that they were giving, because you know, you just know that if they're running a successful business over a 20-year period of time in a neighboring state, that they're going to come across every challenge that there is to come across, and they've obviously handled them successfully, or they wouldn't be where they are. So to me, that was another major differentiating factor in terms of choosing a path or choosing a business partner, and that's how I really view them, as it's really a business partnership from my perspective. What I've tried to explain to them and demonstrate to them is that, you know, there's really three alternatives that I see. Number one, you can join a network like Companion, Connection, Senior Care. You can purchase a franchise, or you can really try to start it up on your own. And to me, having thought about all of those options in the past and having chosen this path with Companion Connection, I feel like it's clearly the most viable option. I don't think this is something that I would want to try to, depending on your own experience and so forth, I think that if I had tried to do this on my own, I don't think I would have been successful.